One of my students is interested in building a tool cabinet like this. This is a piece in Fine Woodworking in Tools and Shops, 2007, by Jan Zoltowski. And my student wants to do this, but it may be a different size than what Jan has presented, and he wants to use SketchUp to do the design sizing of the cabinet. Now, Jan recommends building the whole box in one go at the beginning that only has the front and the back and the sides and the top and bottom components. So there are only 3 unique components to make that big box. The big box now needs to be cut and reorganized into the final toolbox construction, and that means that this big box is going to be sliced in a table saw, for example, to create the front doors. And in SketchUp, it would be good to be able to simulate that shop work. So at first you build according to the overall components, and now you want to have a SketchUp model with the final components of the toolbox. So I'm creating a cutting plane here where this big box would be sliced in that direction, and I'm going to make it a group and then edit that group and do a push-pull to bring that cutting plane to a 1/8 inch thickness, which would be the kerf width of the table saw. And I will just make sure that that cutting plane overlaps any of the components here. Just raise it up a little bit. So that's one cutting plane. I need another one that splits the door into 2 halves, and that's at the midpoint. So I'll use the rectangle tool to create a rectangle that goes to the back of that previous cutting plane and make it a group and edit that and give it a thickness of 1/8 inch. But that means coming from each side at a 1/16. So I push pull here at 1/16 and then double click on the other side to get the full 1/8 inch kerf thickness. And again, up here at the top, I'll just push pull out a little bit to make sure that everything overlaps when we do the intersection. So this is now ready to do the cutting and create the final components. And I will use solid tools in this case. That comes with the Pro version. You can do intersect as well, but it's a little bit easier with solid tools. So I'll cut the side and go up and split it with a tool, with the solid tools, and then I'll cut the top here with that split function. And I need to also cut the top with the other cutting plane, and then the front needs to be split. So now everything is intersected, and with solid tools everything gets changed from a component into a group. So these things are now groups, but you can see that they have been cut with those extra lines in there. And now it's a matter of creating the real final components. For example, here you can see that's a group, and it's called difference 1, difference 2, difference 3. Those are the groups that Solid Tools makes. But in this case, I'll just explode the group and then double click or triple click on the left side and now create a new component called the door front. And now I've got a door front component, and I can delete the rest of that previous group. And moving over to the side here, I need two components out of this side. And again, I'll explode the group and then triple click over here and create a component called side. And now I've got a side component, and I can triple click here and make the door side component. Now to the last component that needs to be split out. Up here on the top, and again I should explode and then triple click on the back part and make that a component called top bottom, because it's both the top and the bottom. And then this door top piece here can be made. I'll call that door top and bottom. So I think that we have all the components now. The back panel stayed the same. We haven't cut that. So I can get rid of all this other leftover stuff from the intersection. And I have well, there's some stuff here that needs to go away. Must have had that undo because I need to be more careful about the eraser here. Okay, so now I can put together the final cabinet parts. And I'll just speed up here a little bit to do these connections of the components. And the back panel, well, the bottom needs to be copied and flipped. And then I will make that a door assembly, taking those components and arranging them together. The back panel, copying the side and flipping, and the top, flipping it, making it the bottom. Now I can just copy the whole door assembly, flip it, and bring it in. And now bring it in flush there, and I should have a 1/8 inch kerf cut. Yes, there's the 1/8 inch slice that was made.